The Landman Season 3 trailer doesn't just tease what's next, it quietly confirms that everything we thought was resolution in Season 2 was really just the calm before a much more dangerous storm. Because if there's one thing this show has made clear, it's that peace never lasts long when power, ownership, and loyalty are involved. Landman Season 2 ended in a way that felt strangely restrained for a show built on pressure, violence, and moral compromise. And that's exactly why the ending mattered more than it seemed at first. On the surface, Tommy walking away from MTex, rejecting Chevron, and forming CTT oil exploration in cattle looked like a victory. He finally stopped building someone else's empire. He finally chose ownership over stability. And for the first time in the entire series, the crew wasn't answering to a corporation, a boardroom, or a ticking contract they didn't control. But the show made it very clear that this wasn't a happy ending. It was a pause. Tommy didn't escape the system. He just rebuilt it in a smaller, more fragile form. And the Season 3 trailer leans heavily into that idea. The final moments of Season 2 framed freedom as something temporary, almost borrowed. Galino's $18 million check wasn't an investment, it was a leash. The warning that failure would have consequences wasn't subtle, and Tommy knew that better than anyone. What made the ending feel quiet wasn't relief, it was exhaustion. Tommy didn't celebrate, he gathered everyone and organized survival. Even Cooper becoming president wasn't framed as a triumph, but as a burden passed down too early. The trailer reinforces this shift by showing that CTT isn't starting from zero, it's starting from debt, expectation, and scrutiny. Season 2 taught us that Tommy's real struggle was never money or oil, it was ownership versus control. And Season 3 is clearly positioning that choice as something he'll be forced to defend at every turn. The difference now is that there's no corporate shield left to hide behind. Every mistake will be personal. Every loss will land on people he loves. And that's what makes Season 3 fundamentally different. Season 2 was about realizing the problem. Season 3 looks like it's about paying the price for finally trying to solve it. The Landman Season 2 finale did not just end a chapter. It quietly set fire to everything that comes next. One man is dead, another is under threat, alliances are shifting, and the future of MTex, CTT, and the Norris family now hangs by a single fragile thread. Season 3 will not be calm, it will not be forgiving, and it will definitely change everything we think we know about Tommy, Cooper, and even Cammy. This is the season where hard choices return with consequences, where power shows its true face, and where one desperate plea could reshape the entire story. Season 3 is very likely to begin exactly where Season 2 left us emotionally, with Cammy standing completely alone. By the end of the finale, she had lost far more than a company. She lost Tommy, she lost Nate, she lost Rebecca, and most importantly, she lost control. MTex was never just a business. It was built on trust, loyalty, and experience. And now, all of that is gone. Cammy's biggest weakness has always been how emotionally driven she is, and without strong people around her to balance her decisions, this weakness could finally bring MTex to its breaking point. The pressure will not come slowly. Bills, contracts, and threats will pile up fast, and Season 3 will likely show us a Cammy realizing for the first time that passion alone is not enough to survive in this world. This is where things take a dramatic turn. Faced with failure and fear, Cammy may do the one thing she once refused to even consider. She may beg Tommy for help. Not as a business partner, not as a competitor, but as someone who still believes in his conscience. This moment would not be about pride anymore. It would be about survival. Cammy asking Tommy for help would be one of the most emotional scenes in the entire series because it would confirm that she finally understands what she lost when she pushed him away. But even if Tommy wants to help, the situation will not be simple. Helping MTex means stepping back into Galino's line of fire, and it means risking everything CTT is trying to build. At the same time, Galino will not sit still and wait. If MTex shows signs of weakness, Galino will move fast and without mercy. He does not see struggling companies as something to save, he sees them as something to take. Season 3 could show Galino tightening the pressure on Cammy deliberately, forcing her into a corner where she has no option left but to reach out to Tommy. This is why the question is not whether MTex will fall, but how hard it will fall before someone tries to catch it. And if Tommy steps in, it will not be because it is safe or smart, but because his heart will not allow him to walk away from someone he once cared about. This situation alone sets the tone for Season 3. It will be a season built on regret, desperation, and impossible choices. Cammy's plea, Galino's patience running out, and Tommy standing between conscience and survival will form the emotional foundation of everything that follows. And this is only the beginning. While Cammy struggles to keep MTex alive, the real danger in Season 3 will quietly grow in the background, and that danger is Galino. By the end of Season 2, Galino made it very clear that his patience has limits. He does not make threats to scare people, he makes them to prepare the ground for action. Season 3 will likely show us a Galino who is no longer negotiating, no longer testing loyalty, and no longer allowing mistakes. For him, CTT is not a dream or a family business. It is an investment that must deliver results. And if it does not, someone will pay the price. Tommy may believe he has bought himself time by accepting Galino's deal, but time is exactly what Galino controls. Every decision Tommy makes in Season 3 will carry weight, because one wrong move could give Galino the excuse he needs to strike. Whether it is a delayed project, a legal issue, or a financial setback, Galino will be watching closely, waiting for the smallest sign of weakness. And unlike before, this time he will not target businesses first. He may target people. Family, reputation, and personal safety will all become leverage. This constant pressure will begin to change Tommy. The man who built his reputation on fairness and long-term thinking will be forced into a world where survival comes before values. Season 3 could show Tommy making decisions that even he is not comfortable with, not because he wants to, but because he has no other choice. Galino's presence will turn every success into a temporary relief and every failure into a potential disaster. The audience will feel this tension in every scene, because there will never be a moment where Tommy is truly safe. What makes Galino especially dangerous is that he does not need to act loudly. A quiet call, a legal move, or a sudden investigation could be enough to shake everything Tommy has built. And if CTT begins to grow faster than expected, Galino may see that growth not as a victory, but as an opportunity to take full control. Season 3 may reveal that Galino's real plan was never partnership, but ownership. Complete ownership. As this shadow grows darker, Tommy will be forced to ask himself a terrifying question. Is becoming a true Landman worth the cost Galino is demanding? And if the answer is no, how does someone walk away from someone who never lets go? This silent war between power and principle will shape Season 3, pushing Tommy closer to a breaking point he has never faced before. The Landman Season 2 finale did not just end a chapter, it quietly set fire to everything that comes next. One man is dead, another is under threat, alliances are shifting, and the future of MTex, CTT, and the Norris family now hangs by a single fragile thread. Season 3 will not be calm, it will not be forgiving, and it will definitely change everything we think we know about Tommy, Cooper, and even Cammy. This is the season where hard choices return with consequences, where power shows its true face, and where one desperate plea could reshape the entire story. Season 3 is very likely to begin exactly where Season 2 left us emotionally, with